Hey folks, how are you doing? Today I am going to be sharing with you a shop update that is quite fun and just a little bit scandalous at times, okay? So we are doing a mix of games, healthy living, self-help, and hobbies. That sound kind of interesting? I think so. So some of them are a little more risque than others, let's just put it that way. So why don't we just get started and see what comes up, okay? So first we have some books about games. This book is about solitaire. And it contains all kinds of games, aces up, and 399 other card games. And it is from 1979. So there's a quick little peek inside. Self-explanatory. Common Sense in Poker. There is something interesting about this book. It is written by a man named Erwin Steig, and his brother is William Steig, who wrote Shrek and Sylvester and the Magic Pebble, all of those children's books. So it is illustrated by his brother, who wrote Sylvester and the Magic Pebble and many other wonderful children's books, a few of which we have here at home and love to read. So that's something interesting about that book. So it's all about poker. It's got lots of different poker hands and scenarios in it. Let me move this back just a little bit. Okay, next we have a book on gambling, Scarn's Complete Guide to Gambling. This thing is huge. Look at this. So, everything you need to know to play well. Correct odds, house percentages, official up-to-date rules, playing strategy, detection of cheating methods. Look at the fun illustration there of the gambling floor, photograph, I guess. And this is from 1961. There's some illustrations and photos in there. Lots of fun. Okay, next I have one book I have a whole set, but I just brought one to show you. Let's dive into this. This set is fabulous, folks. It is amazing. It's the Encyclopedia of Health. Here's volume 1. The illustrations in this series are just to die for. So, a comprehensive guide to the proper care and complete development of the human body with detailed directions for the prevention and treatment of disease. It is 8 volumes long and is from 1942. It's got full color plates. I just happened to open up to this anatomy one. So you open up the first one that is skin level, and then you're here and you can open up all of these different things and go to all the different levels of the body, organs, muscles, all of that stuff. Another random page, color illustration of all kinds of guts and stuff. Then we have some muscles here. Here's some black and white. We've got a pancreas, folks. We've got a pancreas. There's so many wonderful things. Extended fasting. We'll see fasting again in a little bit. Elimination. Strength during the fast. Oh my gosh, it is just fabulous. There's stuff about posture and just so much. This set, amazing. So there's 8 volumes, it's complete, and yeah, just great. Okay, next we have another book of games. This is the home book of party games. You can see it's got some issues with the spine there. A new, big, and widely varied selection of games, quizzes, stunts, riddles, etc. for all occasions and all ages. This is from 1949. So fun. I just love these game books. It's just such a personification of a different time, a different way of being, having to entertain yourself without screens. Isn't that fun? And this man, Jerome S. Meyer, wrote quite a few different game books through the years. Speaking of games, here's another game book. This is 536 puzzles and curious problems. So instead of games, we just have a puzzle book here. Money puzzles, clock puzzles, speed and distance puzzles, circle puzzles, dividing the plane puzzles, paper folding puzzles, root and network puzzles, point alignment puzzles, map coloring puzzles, all kinds of stuff. You could entertain yourself for a very long time with this cool puzzle book. Some more. All right, similar to that, I'm going to pull this one, Know Your Own IQ. There's a little puzzle on the back. So this book starts with an explanation of IQ levels. It is from 1962, right? 1962, yes. And then it has all kinds of puzzles in the back that you're supposed to take, and they graduate from easy to hard, so you can test your own IQ. All right, next we have this curious little book. It is called I Dare You, and it's a motivational book written by William Danforth, who was the chairman of the board of Ralston Purina Company. And this edition is from December 1954. And it is just like a rah-rah motivational type of book. Stand tall, walk at attention. That, yeah, apparently it was very, very popular in the day and was just about, you know, how to be a successful person. All right, next, back to fasting, rational fasting. So a little paperback here for physical, mental, and spiritual rejuvenation. Also health and happiness through fasting. And this is from 1965. So, the preservation of the hair, reasons for becoming bald and gray, increasing longevity, complete instructions for fasting, building a perfect body through fasting, rules during your fast, health and happiness through fasting, when, why, where, and how to fast. So anyway, fasting is very popular these days, and it is just fabulous and insightful and interesting to go back a couple of decades and see what they were talking about then. We think these ideas are brand new, but they're really not. Okay, this one is a little horrifying, if I am going to be honest. It's called Just for Girls. It is from 1956, and it is a book written for young Christian girls, young women, about how to behave properly in dating and being a teenager and hanging out with boys and whether to kiss them or not and getting engaged and comportment and just general good behavior. Next, we have this little paperback, which is the Royal Canadian Air Force Exercise Plans for Physical Health. This bad boy was so popular back in the day. Lots of editions. I have 2 editions in the shop now, this one and another one. And it was, you know, a little exercise routine that was originally developed for Air Force pilots and then became just super popular, and everybody wanted to do it, and so they started making these books. So just super, super interesting and fun. I love vintage health, fitness, exercise books. They're just fascinating. Again, if you are into health and fitness, it's really illuminating to read these older books on the topics that you're really into and realize that there are no new ideas. It's just people talking about the same things. Okay, this is the first of 2 books about dog training. I consider dog training a hobby. That's why the dog training books are in this week's. I don't know. Anyway, the Kohler method of dog training. This man, William Kohler, was a Hollywood dog trainer. So he trained dogs for movies and stuff. So somebody got this book and everybody wrote their names and their inscriptions in there. So I don't know, maybe a work colleague or something. Here's the second book on dog training made easy for you and your dog. Isn't that cute? This one is from 1940, okay? And it has cute little illustrations, little black and white illustrations. Let's see if I can find some more. There is one little one in there. An effective way to break dog of car chasing. Oh gosh, look. He's got like a stick hanging from his neck. I don't know. Maybe it's effective. Doesn't seem very nice. All right, we're gonna move on into, we're gonna start seeing some more like health, wellness type books. I'm just delighted to have so many of these. This one is called Feel Like a Million, How Proper Nutrition Can Revolutionize Your Life. Would you like to have more energy, more stamina, fresher beauty? Would you like to ward off sickness and dullness and weariness? Feel Like a Million can make a new person of you. This is from 1956. The vitamins, rich red blood, carbohydrates, fats, amino acid, beautiful skin, better eyesight, calm nerves. Can diet help your teeth? Mending ulcers, resisting cancer, strengthening the heart. What's happening to our foods? Hints for buying, selecting, storing, and preparing vital foods. Bulgarian yogurt. Oh, I might have to read that section. Okay, so there's that. This next one is Facts of Life and Love for Teenagers. This is a sex education, facts of life, birds and bees book for teenagers. And it is from 1958. Interestingly, it has an inscription to my daughter from mother, Christmas 1959. I don't know how I'd feel about getting a sex education book from my mother for Christmas, but I guess it's better than getting no education. When double dates can be good. What boys and girls expect out of each other. Where babies come from. How boys become men. How girls become women. Preparing for marriage. How to say no. Going steady. Your parents and your dates. Getting and keeping dates. Is it love or an infatuation? So, fabulous, right? Am I right? Yes. Okay, another wellness book. This is called How to Be Always Well. How to Be Always Well. And this one is from 1927 by Robert G. Jackson. If I remember correctly, when I was researching this, he was one of the first people to talk about calories and restricting how much you eat to try to lose weight. So that was starting to become more and more of a problem. Oh, look at this dude with the woman sitting on him. He must have very strong abs. Muscular neck, waist, back, and legs, without which this feat is impossible. Let's see. Here's another 1,300 miles in 19 days with a 50-pound load of equipment. Okay. So yeah, very interesting book about the body and living well. And this was, the start of people starting to talk about this more. Anatomy and environment, man's limitations, the human body's limitations, foods of civilization, the civilized ? Breakfast, other foolish feeding habits, constipation and disease, systematized muscle exercises, 3 kinds of bath, light, air, and water, appetite control and fasting, the reducing regimen, so if you want to lose weight, and the fattening regimen, if you want to gain weight, cleanliness, sickness. It says sickness is sin. So, I'm so sorry. Fascinating book. Okay. The Science of Regeneration. This is another quirky kind of 1911, popular science book. Okay, How to Preserve and Strengthen and Retain the Vital Powers, a study of the sacred laws that govern the sex forces. Priceless information for those who are ready for the true inner teachings on controlling the vital essence of the body, the secret of rejuvenation and remaining young and vigorous. So, yeah. I will read you a couple of the chapter headings. The primitive stages of life, the Darwinian theory of evolution, marriage customs of antiquity, the creative force, abuse of the creative function, the results of immoral living, the sexual organs and their uses, some sex secrets, the consequences of certain things, creation, procreation, and regeneration. There you go, okay? I had to censor myself just a little bit there. How to Stay Young. This one is from 1940. The Secret. Froman young at 80. 4 generations of Edisons, the father of life extension. How long should man live? Science points the way. Eat your way to health. Millions commit suicide. Life-shortening diseases. Teeth. A good index. The golden mean. The elixir of life. Life-shortening habits and heart troubles. Diet and Health with Key to the Calories. This is by Lulu Hunt Peters, who was a doctor. And apparently this book was like the first time people in a general science book for general audiences learned about calories. Okay, so this is from 1923. So she has Key to the Calories and explains what calories are, how to pronounce the word calorie, and why people gain weight and have other health problems, and then how to lose weight, and a list of a bunch of different foods and their calorie counts in the back. Fascinating. We're back to hobbies for a minute. This is called Cruising is Fun, and it is so cute. It is a book for people who are doing, recreational boating. It is from 1941, and the first chapter is called So You've Got a Boat. And then it just goes through, all the things to do with boating. We have another party game book, 255 party games to play. Nice, pretty green hardcover. This is from 1945. We have general paper games, oral games, manual games, card games for groups, outdoor games, stunts, complete parties for various occasions, and adding a festive touch to the table and the room. So, yeah, I think this obviously is, oh, look at the paper lanterns. More geared to having great parties and having lots of fun at your parties. The Art of Living. This is a self-help, a collection of stories from Reader's Digest. So I called this self-help, and I did include a couple of things that I felt like were self-help this week. So yes, this is just a bunch of different stories about different aspects of living well. Why Women Act That Way is the one I just happened to open up to. Okay, we've got 2 more. This one is another absolute delight. It is the Better Living Encyclopedia. This is volume 4, I think. So there's 6 volumes total. I only have this one, which is volume 4. Volume 4 covers family health. So let's just look at a couple of illustrations. Making baby formula. Pregnancy. Types of frames. So small, medium, large frame. The ear. The large intestine and the small intestine. Oh my gosh, I just love it. I had so much fun flipping through this book. It was just fabulous. We have some color stuff. We have the kidney, development of bone, the endocrine system, the living cell, the digestive system. Look at that. And then in the front, we have all of these too. So that is just fabulous. All right, the last book I have to show you is the most risque. I probably can't even show you much of it. It's called The Picture Book of Sexual Love. It's from 1969. So this is just like straight up sexual revolution in book form, okay? And it is just thoroughly illustrated with black and white photographs. Yeah, so it's meant to be just kind of like a guide to understanding your sexuality. And yeah, use your imagination or buy the book, and then you don't have to use your imagination. You can flip through it at your leisure. Okay, that's it. That was just a thoroughly enjoyable collection of books to put together. So much fun. I'm so sorry it took me 19 minutes to talk to you about all of these, but I hope you can tell that I just love them so much. I just want to talk about them forever. Okay, so you can find a link to all of these books and this week's shop update in the description to this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for hanging in there with me, and I will be back soon with another shop update video for this summer. See you later. Bye.